Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you again. As a result of the hike in the price of electricity and also price of fuel, the labor had made together and have agreed that since the federal government is not yielding to the demand of the Nigerian laborers, that they will be going on strike. We've heard several statements from the federal government. One is that they have acquired a restraining order from the court to stop the labor from protesting and all of that. But the Nigerian Labour Congress, led by his chairman, national chairman, has insisted that they will still embark on their protest come tomorrow. But they have just finished a meeting with the House of Representatives, led by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, that's Mela, and that's the outcome where we are going to look at, and we're going to also consider the issue of private companies getting involved in this strike, how possible that will be. But first of all, let's look at the details of the news. According to the news, the House of Representatives on Sunday waded into the crisis between the federal government and the organized labor over the recent hike in the pump price of premium motor spirit petrol and electricity tariff. The workers, however, insisted on starting industrial action on Monday until their demands are met. The Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress had jointly declared their readiness to embark on a nationwide strike and protest to compel the federal government to reverse the hike in the prices of petrol and electricity. And from all indication, the hike has generated a lot of criticism nationwide. The Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, on Sunday met with President of the NLC, Waba, and his TUC counterpart, Olaleye, amongst others. Also at the meeting with the Deputy Majority Leader, Peter Akpatason, and Chairman House Committee on Labour, Ali Mohammed. The opening session began at 10:30 a.m. and ended at 10:52 a.m. The meeting went behind closed doors and lasted almost 1 hour. Emerging from the meeting, Wada dismissed the various court rulings barring the workers from industrial action. According to him, and I quote, he said, "We have had a useful discussion with the leadership of the House of Representatives. We have shared our concern and challenges with Mela, especially the very challenge of the implication of the hike in the tariff of electricity and the petrol pump price. We also told him how the discussion with the federal government went and how the meeting was adjourned. He has also promised to try to intervene at his own level to see to it that we don't inflict more pains on Nigeria. And in the course of the discussion, we have also realized that the House of Rep has done a lot on this issue, including recommendation to government, which we have shared mutually. But the bottom line is that we want this burden that has now been shifted to Nigerians as consumers to also be lifted so that we can have a decent life." Responding to a question on court injunction barring workers from embarking on strike, Waba accused the federal government of also disregarding a subsisting court pronouncement against electricity tariff hike. The NLC boss said, and I quote, he said, "Are you not aware also that there is a court judgment stopping the tariff? This is a valid judgment from the High Court stopping the tariff increase, and that judgment is still subsisting. Are you not aware of that? And on the issue of the court judgment, we have not been served. As I said, in good faith, we'll recall that we were on the negotiation table up till late Thursday night. Therefore, our expectation is that we should be able to, in good faith, continue to dialogue, not to try to ambush because we have received the order as of today and we don't know the details of any order. Clearly speaking, we cannot speak on something that is not before us. The reality is that on the issue of electricity tariff, we have a court judgment, not court order, that has nullified the increase in tariff, and therefore we believe that the rule of law must also prevail. And in this case also, we want the right thing to be done. When asked if the organized labor would still go ahead with the strike as planned, Waba said, if the issues are not addressed, you are aware that we have given notice, and that notice will certainly expire by tomorrow. All the actions we have pronounced will certainly take effect. And guess what? The police has also responded that they would do the needful. Don't forget that even as we are talking, before now we have seen subsection of the society protesting against the increase in the price of fuel, and they were arrested. That's why most Nigerians are at this point really scared, because if it has happened to the first person, then what will stop it from happening to the other person, because right now as we are talking, I still hear that the federal government are also still going to meet with them today, but the truth, let the truth be said, and that singular truth is that the people are still insisting that they will embark on the strike. The police have said that they will do the needful based on the how it is being prescribed by the law, that they will ensure they do the needful. And we know that the needful at this point is to carry out arrest of our labor people who will be stepping out there, to show their response, that show their displeasure towards the increase in the pricing. And most interestingly is that even those who are working in private sector have been enjoined to be a part of that particular strike, because if you are not a part of that strike, it therefore means that you are in support of the decision of the federal government to increase the price of fuel and also electricity. Now, guess what? To increase the price, according to the explanation they have given thus far, it's okay, but it's not good enough for a time like this. You understand? Privatizing the oil sector, it's not a bad deal, because it will generate a lot of jobs for Nigerians, and it will also increase competition, which may in the future lead to a reduction in the price of the fuel. But as at now, where we are still they're trying to balance themselves and all of that, that decision is totally wrong, because we've already seen the effect of coronavirus on Nigerians. It's really not good for you to introduce anything that will trouble them. But let's just look at some of the reactions of Nigerians in respect to that's after the outcome of the meeting with the House of Rep. And this one says, all I see is joblessness. After having a long holiday during this pandemic, Labour wants to go on strike as if they won't still compromise and call off their strike without getting a result. Nigerian Labour are jobless. I pray that the current chairman of NLC and of TUC will change this precedent, because it's not a good one for people to be saying this. And this one says their quietness has been long overdue and has made this government think they can do and undo. This outrage should be a wake-up call for the government. And another person here says the government knows the people who this subsidy money is benefiting. The money Mr. President wants to use to construct Kaduna to Niger Republic. Why not use that money to fix one out of the 4 refineries that is faulty? It's common sense true. It's common sense truth, they say. Common sense is not common. But the issue of fixing our refinery, just some few days ago, the Vice President Yemi Osibanjo had told Nigerians that it's not the duty of the federal government to be running the refinery, and that's why they've shifted into the hands of private individual. For he did mention of some of the states that are hosting refineries where they will refine fuel and all of that. Talked about also Dangote, a refinery which will be opening by December. So all of that put together will make the processing of petrol easier. But for now, Nigerians are not happy, and they want the federal government to stop at this point in pursuing what they are running after, because right now the economy is not favorable. The standard of living of the people really down. And right now we know that where there are no regulations to the prices of fuel, before we know, before December, it may skyrocket to 200 And imagine what will happen during that time. Most people will want to travel and all of that. And most shocking of it all is that even um the salaries that they told Nigerians they are going to be increasing sooner than later, up till today, it has not been brought into bear. And we understand that pandemic and reduction in the price of fuel or international price of fuel is contributory to it. But then it's still not okay for you to increase the price of fuel as at this time. I feel that if the Labour stand their ground, things might change in the favor of the Nigerian people. Let's leave.